Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about the intro and the basics of digital sculpting. So I'm going to be introducing you to the sculpting environment and just giving you some of the basics for understanding the tools that you're going to be using throughout this course. Now, this course will work like my other courses where I talk about each of the tools individually, what they're used for, what their purpose is, and all of that jazz. We'll get into the specifics, but in this video, all we're going to do is look at the overall layout, where you'll find things in Blender 2.8, and how to change some of the most basic settings. So let's get started. So in Blender 2.8, you have the ability to create and go straight into a sculpting file, and we will do that, but before we do, I just want to point out that up here at the top, if you go with the general format, there is the Sculpting tab. So if you're creating or modeling something and then you realize you get to a part where, hey, you kind of need to sculpt something to maybe make it a little bit faster, you can just switch over to the Sculpting tab, and you can add any of these tabs at any point by simply hitting the plus button up here at the top. So we're going to actually go ahead and go to a new sculpting workflow. We're going to discard these changes here, and immediately what you'll see is that we've got this quad sphere, which if we go into edit mode, you'll see that it's basically just a cube that had a subdivision surface modifier applied to it, which is why these faces pinch here right around in this corner. And you can kind of see that if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that pinching with the vertices. But you've got this cool little quad sphere, and it's useful for just getting into sculpting. So we're primarily going to work with this setup throughout this course. Now, a couple of things that we need to know right off the bat. So you're going to find all of your brushes over here on the left, and you've got some annotations, which are really good for if you have specific angles or features that you want to make sure that you sculpt on. You can then draw on that, but we'll talk about that really in a future video. And then you've got your settings up here at the top. Now, all of this is pretty standardized now in Blender 2.8, so these are basically going to be the locations for all of your settings and tools as you're used to it from modeling or texturing. But if you don't want to deal with them up here, you also have the ability on the right-hand side to affect all of these settings as well. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the more advanced settings like texture, stroke, fall off, display, dentopo, and some of the option stuff in a future video. But for today's video, all I want to talk about is radius and strength. Now, you'll notice a couple of things about them. First, you'll notice that strength has a toggle on and radius does not. So these toggles are related to the pressure of your pen. Now, if you're not using a pen tablet or a tablet where you can draw on the screen or something like that with Blender, then this setting doesn't really affect you. If you're just sculpting with your mouse, you're not really going to have anything affected. But if you are sculpting with a tablet, which I would highly recommend picking up a cheap tablet if this is your first time, or if you're using professional sculpting tools, then you have the ability to change the size and strength of your brush based on the pressure of your pen on your screen or your tablet. And these toggles come in very handy with getting that fine detail that you really want to try and attempt with your sculpting. But you don't have to turn them on. You can toggle them off if that's not what you want, if you want to change the strength and radius manually. So how do we change the strength and radius? Well, you can come up to the top and you can click and drag to the right or to the left with both the strength and the radius, but that can be a little tedious. You can also use hotkeys, and I feel like this is going to be something that you're going to get used to a lot more of, especially if you pick up a cheap Wacom tablet or if you're using that professional software, just because it gets a little bit easier to, instead of having to go up to the top and change it or whatever, you can just use the hotkey and adjust. So for the radius, the hotkey is the F key. And when you hit the F key, you simply move your mouse to the right or to the left, and that will change the radius of your brush stroke. So obviously you want to go big for large kind of non-fine details and some smaller ones for finer details there. But the strength will also matter too. So if radius is the size of your brush, the strength is how strongly you're pressing onto your digital clay. So if you want to press pretty lightly, well, then you have to lower the strength down. And you can do that with the hotkey Shift F. Now, when you go Shift F, you'll see that the radius doesn't actually extend past the circle. You'll notice there's these two circles and you get to pick inside. So you'll also see that little gray area, that black to gray area. As we get closer to the outside, it fades away. And so that's kind of the graphical demonstration of how strong your brush is. So the closer you get to 0, the lower strength you're going to apply. And then the closer you get to 1, the harder the strength is. So right now, the strength is 1, and I'm just going to make a single stroke here so you can see the size effect. But if we lower the strength down to, say, 0.15, and we make another stroke, you can see that while I'm making a stroke and it's making an indentation, it's not doing it very much because we're not actually drawing on any actual clay, or not a lot of it because we're not doing it very strongly. Okay, so that's basically how the radius and the strength work. But you do have this option that I want to point out, and that's the ability to unify your brush's size and strength. Now, I have this set. I'm not sure if it comes in by default, but I definitely unify both the size of my brush and the strength of my brush, but you do not have to do that. I just find it a little bit easier to switch between brushes when the size of the brush and the strength of the brush is the same. But if you don't feel that way, or if you want to make sure that, hey, when you're using a particular brush, it's set at a particular size and a particular strength, then you can uncheck these and ununify your brushes. So I just want to show you, if we uncheck them, what happens. So let's say we take our size brush here and it's a radius of 35, or let's make it 222. If we then say grab our blob brush, you'll see now that the radius of the blob brush is back to 35. And if we increase the strength of the blob brush and we make sure that the option for unified strength is off, then we'll have to actually increase it again because it was set to 0.5 when we did that. And now it's at 0.735. If we switch to the clay strips brush, you can see that this now is at the strength 0.5 instead of the previous like 0.7. So I just wanted to point these things out. You can use your tools how you want. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically the introduction to sculpting. And you have all of these brushes over here on the side. But the important things that you need to know before we get started is that you have a radius and a strength and the ability to unify them between all of the brushes. All right, so that's basically it for this video. I'm Sir Pinkbeard. Thanks for watching. And in the next video, we are going to be covering the draw brush and some more of the brush settings.